Merry meet, fiber magicians, and welcome to another episode of Fiber Magic Crochet. Today we will be making an African flower motif. That is this. And these are very versatile, extremely versatile. You can make bags and blankets and stuffed animals. Let's light our candle and get started. Right. So, I'm using an F hook for this. I want to crochet tightly. So you people that out there that crochet tightly, this is a good project for you. You want the stitches to be tight enough so that the fiber fill doesn't poke through. And even though there will be small holes, polyester fiber fill won't. It won't make that big of a difference if you don't overstuff it. Okay. If you were going to use this motif for a blanket, you could use an eye hook. Now this one has 6 petals. And you'll see by the way that you make it that this center makes all the difference. This is where you decide how many petals your flower is going to have. You can do 5, 6, 7, 8, as many as you want. Your motif will be bigger, and it will be called for in different patterns to make different animals. What I'm going to make is this African flower tarantula. Now, I can't show you this whole thing. First of all, it's going to be many, many hours. And second of all, this was designed by My Twins Crochet, and I paid for this pattern. So I'm not going to share it because it's not mine to share. But what I can share with you is how to make the motif itself. And then when you find a pattern that you like on the internet, whether you pay for it or it's free, then you'll be able to make an African flower, whatever. I want to make an elephant too, and a turtle. You can make a turtle. All right, let's get started. Do your slip knot in your center color. I've chosen burgundy, gold, and black because I want my tarantula to be orb weaver colors. Strangely enough, or maybe there's no such thing as a coincidence, my favorite hat is the same colors, so I'll be able to match my tarantula. All right, so let's begin. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And slip stitch into the first chain that you made to make the tiniest little ring. Can you see that? Yeah. It's there. It's tiny, but it's there. And that's what you're going to put all your petals into. So you're going to chain 3 and do a double crochet right into that ring. Chain 1 and put 2 double crochets into the ring. Chain 1, 2 more double crochets into the ring. Chain 1, 2 more double crochets. Get that end out of the way. You will be an orb weaver by the end of this, weaving in all those ends. If you're making a stuffed animal, those ends could just be on the inside, so you don't have to worry about them too much. They just become part of the stuffing. So I think that we did 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So chain 1 and then slip stitch into the top of that chain 3 where you started. And so you have a piece that looks like this. And you can see that you're going to have 5 chain 1 spaces, and that's where you're going to put your petals. If you wanted 6 petals, you'd do 6 in the center, or 7 or 8, whatever your pattern calls for. Now, this pattern that I'm showing you now, I wrote it out and I put it in my blog on my website, fibermagick.com. So go to my website after you subscribe and like this video and check out my website, fibermagick.com. I have blog there, and that is where you would order a custom-made piece from me. Okay. So now we can cut the burgundy and fasten that off and attach the gold. All right, the next 2 rounds will be in the gold. That's what will make the flower petals. So do your slip knot and attach the gold in any one of those chain 1 spaces that you've got there. Chain 3, and that becomes your double crochet. Put another double crochet, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets in that same chain 1 space. So you pretty much made a little corner in that chain 1. See that? In the chain 1 space. Now don't chain between them. Go directly into the next chain 1 space and do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, and the next one, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. By the time you've made 60 of these, you won't even have to look at the instructions anymore. Jump over to the next chain 1 space and do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. There we go. Put that to the back. Get out of the way. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, and then slip stitch right into the top of your chain 3. See that? Now you've got something that looks like a little star. You can see where it's getting 5 sides, right? There you go. Now don't cut your thread because we're going around again with the gold. But we're going to slip stitch in the next double crochet and slip stitch into that chain 1 space so we could get started there with a chain 3. That's your first double crochet, and then 6 more in the same chain 1 space. 5, 6, well, 7 actually. If you count the first chain 3 as a double crochet, you've got 7 double crochets in that chain 1 space. Go right over to the next one and put 7 in that chain 1 space. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jump right over to the next chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next, 2. Don't worry if it cups up a little bit. You want to be holding a nice steady tension. You want to crochet tightly. If it cups up a bit, we will block it later. Let's see, that's 6, 7. Okay, and so we need one more in the last chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and now slip stitch into the very first stitch we made, the top of that chain 3. See, it's going to lay flat. You're going to kind of squish it together. You want it to fill in all those holes. You don't want it to be too gappy. All right, now we can cut off the gold. We're done with that one. But before we add the black, I want to show you something because black stitches are very hard to see. Let's look at the gold stitches. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 going across that petal. That makes the top of that petal. So since there's an odd number, you've got this odd ball right in the middle, see? We're going to use that place, not the next stitch, not the next round, the round after that, to make our corner so that our 5 sides go from center of the petal to center of the petal. That'll be the side. Just wanted to show you that on the gold so you could see it. I'll show it to you again on the black, but you may not be able to see it as well. Remember, you can decide for yourself what color combinations you use. So you may not want to use black on the one where you have to find the center. Okay, so we're gonna add the black right where we left off on the gold. I'm gonna attach it with a single crochet stitch. Let me show you how to do that. You've got your slip knot on your hook, right? So insert your hook where you want that single crochet to be. Yarn over and pull a loop up. Now you've got 2 loops on your hook, right? It's hard to see in the black, but there's 2 loops on that hook. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops, and you've attached your yarn with a single crochet stitch. Cool, huh? All right, so now we do 6 more across the top of that petal. We're outlining the petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, between the 2 petals, we want to have a long stitch. That's what separates the petals and makes it more flower-like. You see that? And you do that by going down into the row, the previous round that you made. You go not into here, into here. Into here, see? Down the previous row that you made. All right? And to do that, you will, let me line you up here, yarn over, insert your hook between the 2 petals, yarn over and bring up a loop. Now you've got 3 hook, okay? Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you've got a long stitch down between your petals. Now you go across the next petal with 7 single crochet stitches, 1 in each one of those double crochets that we did previously. Then we yarn over, insert the hook 2 rounds down, yarn over, pull up, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay? Continue in that way for each petal, outlining the petal with single crochet stitches right across there, and then accentuating each petal by separating it with a long double crochet between the petals. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we make the long double crochet 2 rounds down, and then 7 more single crochets. There we go. And then another long stitch down to there, up, and slip stitch into that first single crochet on that round. Now you've got a pretty nice looking flower. You could use something like this as an applique on a bag, or make a barrette. Huh? Yeah, it's pretty cool by itself. But we're going to add one more round to our motif to really make it 5 sides that can be sewn together. Okay? We'll do that with another row of burgundy. It's really interesting how different this pattern looks by adding a petal or 2, or by changing the color combinations. All right. So now we're going to slip stitch right where we left off with the black, right? And chain 3 to be used as our first double crochet. Now remember that center stitch we were talking about? It's this one right here. It's harder to see with the black, but you can see that there's 3 single crochets on each side of that middle single crochet in the middle of each petal. That's where we're going to put our corner. All right? So to do that, we want to make 2 more double crochets, right? And in that center stitch, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, and another double crochet. That will act as our corner. They're not going to be the sharpest corners, but then we don't want to leave a big hole. So it's just going to be just enough of a corner. And when we sew them together, you're really going to see 5 sides. Okay, so we're going to do double crochets down this side to the center of the next petal. And that should be 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, here we are in the center. So put a chain 1 and another double crochet in that stitch. 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, single crochet, and another double crochet in that same stitch. See, makes a nice corner, and it does. You can tell. We're getting there. If you want to check your work, make sure there's 9 double crochets between each chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Chain 1 space. The second one of that corner is 1. That's why I say just do 8. Because you've already done that 1. Okay, now you're in the center, right? You're in the center of that petal. So you do another chain 1 and double crochet, and then 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should be in the center again. Yep. Chain 1 and another double crochet in that stitch. Now you've already got 4 stitches on this side. So you do these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. To finish this side, slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that you started out with. And there you have it. That is, let me fasten off so I can show you here. That is a 5-petal African flower motif. Take your little corners, give them a little tug, right? Shape it a little bit. And like I said, you've got a lot of the back, but they're going to be inside the toy with the fluff, so it doesn't matter. Don't make extra work for yourself. You know what I mean? So these are going to be sewn together, like so. And then another one over here. Makes a nice fabric. And the pattern calls for so many 5 petals, and then some 6 petals, a couple of 7 petals, and a couple of 8 petals. Tarantula has 8 legs. So this is going to be a big job for me, but I think I'm going to enjoy it. And of course, when I'm finished with this tarantula, it will be posted on Instagram. My Instagram is also FiberMagick. And if you use the hashtag FiberMagick with a K, the K is very important, hashtag FiberMagick will put all of our tarantulas or hippopotamuses or whatever you choose to make from your African flower motif in the same place so we can all admire them together. Thank you so much for playing with me today, and I hope that you all stay crafty and give this motif a try. All right, let's blow out our candle and say merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Till next time, Fiber Magicians, stay crafty.